Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jerso and today I'm here with my quick and speedy September wrap up. So in the month of September I was able to read 5 books, which honestly was pretty good considering the mood that I was in. If you guys hear anything in the background, Stella is going ham on her bone right now and I'm not trying to interrupt that, so we're just gonna let her have her moment. So yeah, in the month of September I was able to read 5 books. I actually really enjoyed a majority of what I read, but they're all right over here, so let's just get into the wrap up. First book that I ended up reading in the month of September was Ace of Spades by Farida Abiki Ayamadi. I have an entire reading vlog on this that I will link down in the description box below, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of explaining my thoughts again. So if you're interested, you can go and watch that video. So in this book we are following 2 students, Devon and Chiomaka, and they are the only 2 black students at this all-white elite private school, and they worked really hard to get where they are, and it's their last year, and someone by the name of Aces starts sending out anonymous text messages kind of sharing some damning secrets about Chiomaka and Devon, and it kind of, they both team up to figure out who this mysterious Ace is and why they are sending out these messages. I really enjoyed this, especially for a YA thriller. I thought that it gave something new to the genre. This is compared to, or it's pitched as Get Out meets Gossip Girl, and like I've said thousands of times, 100% accurate. I really enjoyed the characters in this book. I enjoyed the high stakes. I do wish that some points were a little, I wanted a little more from especially from both characters, like personal stories. I wanted to see how that worked out, but I did really enjoy my time reading this, and it helped me beat my August slump, so really amazing. The next book I ended up reading in the month of September was Not Pretending Anymore by Penelope Ward. This is a super slow burn romance type of thing. So in this book we are following our 2 characters and love interests, Declan and Molly. Molly is looking for a roommate and she puts an ad out, and she's looking for a female roommate, but Declan ends up showing up to the interview anyways, and he ends up kind of sweet talking his way into getting into being able to become Molly's roommate, and they're both interested in 2 different people, but they kind of come up with this plan so that they flirt with each other to get the people that they really want interested in them, and we all know how that worked out. It didn't, and they end up falling in love. But this book was so much more than that, which I was not expecting. There's a lot more of the deep, hard-hitting topics. There is a death of a parent present in here, so if that is something that you just do not want to read about, be aware of that. And there's also talks of mental illness, and so it was a lot heavier than I was expecting. The romance was, when I say slow burn, I mean slow burn. I almost to the point that I got bored and I didn't even care about their relationship anymore. It was just a fun, not fun, but it was easy to get through, but I just felt like it was middle of the road. I didn't feel like super attached to the characters' relationship, especially since they were both involved with other people at some points. So I didn't feel that connection, that spark. It just didn't work for me. But I will say that I really enjoyed Declan's character. He was funny, and although he used humor to kind of cope with cope and escape with what he was dealing with. I loved him so much. He was great. But they were super cute together. Just wasn't fully connected into the romance as I wish I could have been. So overall, it was very middle of the road. Next book I ended up reading was The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 2 in the Mistborn series. And in book 1, we are in a world where allomancy is where people get their magic from. So if you digest metals and you can access that metal's particular power. Individuals who can only digest and use one metal are called mistings, and individuals who can digest 2, that means you can kind of pull power from all 8, and those are called Mistborns. So we are following our 2 Mistborns, Kelsier and Vin, as them and a group of slave rebellion and thieves and people like that are trying to overthrow the Lord Ruler and break down the final empire. So really enjoyed book 1, absolutely loved it, blew my mind. This one took me a little bit longer to read. I felt like the first half of the book went super slow, and it just felt really repetitive. And I think that this is a series that you can't binge all the way through, because Brandon Sanderson does a great job of recapping the last book and kind of reiterating key points of the magic system and the characters and how people are connected. So if you have read the first book, and then immediately jump into the second one, you're just kind of getting that repetitive nature. And I felt like this one was super slow. We didn't get like the it was just like a whole bunch of build-up, and the build-up was really like, I don't want to say the word slow again, but that's exactly what it was. At least that's what it felt like to me. So it took me a little bit longer to read, but I will say the last 200 to 300 pages I really enjoyed. I cried, I laughed. It was just so sweet. I love these characters so much, and just seeing what they go through is just, it was rough. And I also think this book wasn't as high up there for me because my favorite character wasn't there, and I don't know, there was just like a lot of religious intrigue. The political intrigue in here was kicked up by 1000%, especially the ending of this book was just mind-blowing. And yeah, I am currently in the middle of I'm currently reading book 3, and I think I'm going to take a break because I'm finding the same problems as I did with book 2, the repetitive nature. So I think I'm going to wait a little bit and then read that one and, you know, be fresh, funky fresh. If you guys enjoy melodramatic characters, if you enjoy gruesome killings just at the random, if you enjoy unlikable characters that are to the point that they're almost comedic, I need y'all to read this book. Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. We are following 3 teenagers, basically. We're following 3 teenagers from 3 different kingdoms, and when I tell y'all that one like minuscule event sets off like a kingdom-wide war between these 3 kingdoms, it's insane. So I hated and loved the characters at the same time. They were so frustrating. There's so many secrets that people aren't telling each other, which are like crucial secrets. We know as much as the characters know, so when they find things out, it's just like, oh shit. Like, I really enjoyed the plot of this. I loved the characters. Don't get attached to the characters. Okay, just don't do that to yourself, because you will have your heart broken into a million pieces. I loved it. The writing is super simplistic, so if you're looking for something that's like super easy to go through, I would suggest this as like a really good beginner fantasy, because the magic system is easy to grasp and there's not a lot of like the world isn't so huge that you can't, you know, understand it for your first fantasy. And the writing is also so simplistic, so it's like easy to follow along. So if you're looking for something that's like mind-blowing, intricate and everything like that, I don't think you're gonna get it in this book. But if you're looking for something fun, something like, this book is almost refreshing to me. I really enjoyed my time reading this, and I would 100% recommend. So the last book that I ended up reading in the month of September was Bray by Jordan Asuyko. This one I've been meaning to read for the past year, and I'm so glad I finally did it. I absolutely enjoyed my time reading this. So we are following Terasai from when she's like little to I think like a teenager. We're basically following her life. There's a huge mystery surrounding her. She doesn't really understand her place and purpose in this world. All she knows is that her mother, which we know as the lady, has tasked her with infiltrating the King's Council, which is made up of 11 members, and she is to go there as when she is a child and kind of pass the test needed to become a crucial person on this King's Council, which she does. But the lady also tasks her to not only infiltrate this council, but once she does, she is to gain the prince's love and trust and kill him. And that becomes a problem when Terasai herself kind of starts forming a friendship with not only the prince, but the other members on the council, and also a relationship with one of them as well. This book was so wholesome. I loved it. It was actually insane how much Jordan Asuyko was able to pack into such a short book. Like, it was go from like a certain page on. Like very early on we were just going, and I absolutely loved these characters. I think that was my favorite part, like the character relationships, romantic relationships, and even like the found family aspect I really enjoyed. I guess my only problem with this book is that I felt like the climax of what we were working towards, it happened and then it went away, and then we kind of started building up to what the plot for the second book is going to be. And I just wish that, I loved how it was so short, but I just wish that we got like 100 extra pages, if that, just to kind of really, like, I really wanted to feel the anticipation and the like excitement of leading up to that climax and getting there and finding the repercussions of how that happened. Like, I feel like it just happened so quickly that I didn't feel as affected by it as I wanted to be. And before moving into the build-up of the second conflict, which is going to be addressed in the second book. So that's my only gripe with this. I wish it was a little bit longer, but I am excited to read book 2, which I have, and I hope to read this month. But I thought that this was a great YA fantasy. It was easy to go through. The writing was magical and beautiful, and I would 100% recommend, if you're thinking about reading this, to do it. So alright guys, so that is it. Those are the 5 books that I read in the month of September. Please let me know in the comments the books that you managed to read in the month of September. Which one was your favorite? Which one you didn't quite like? Just let's just chat about September books. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I will have my bookstagram linked down below, so you can follow me there for real life updates of what I'm reading, how I'm feeling about these books. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it if you did, and subscribe if you aren't, and I'll see you guys with another video soon. Bye.